Well, it's time to make a video about the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is my thoughts on what the Steelers can do for 2022. How can they be better from last year? How can they come back, win the AFC North? How can they win a playoff game? How will they perform their first year without Ben Roethlisberger since 2003? So, in case you guys haven't been able to tell from previous videos that I have made, I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I always will be a Steelers fan until I die. And people will joke with me and say, when I pick teams, that, oh, it's only because, you pick the team with the most Super Bowl wins. My friend Ethan, anyway, no, I'm just kidding, Ethan. That's not the case. I didn't even know. So, let's talk about the Steelers. So, obviously, the biggest story for the Steelers this offseason was the quarterback situation. What were we going to do without Ben? Well, we brought in Mitchell Trubisky. He was mostly known for being a starter for the Bears, and then he backed up Josh Allen at Buffalo last season. Brought him in. I was very skeptical about it. I didn't know what to feel about him. But after seeing Trubisky play in preseason, he looked pretty good. And yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever it was, I believe it was yesterday, Trubisky was captained, which means he was named the starting quarterback. So he will start week 1 on the 11th when we play at Cincinnati at Paycor Stadium. And then later they'll come to play at Acrisure Stadium. So we'll see what Trubisky can do. I hope he improves. I mean, we'll see how he does. I mean, obviously everyone makes fun of him. He wasn't really that good at Chicago. Even the year the Bears went 12-4 in 2018, won the NFC North, it was mainly the defense. Trubisky played some good games, but he hasn't performed as well. He didn't perform that well. We'll figure it out. Is it his skill as a player, or was it the coaching staff in Chicago? Now he's in the Pittsburgh. We'll see how he does in this Matt Canada offense. Kenny Pickett. Pickett played really good in preseason too. Trubisky and Pickett both played amazing. And Mason Rudolph too. Don't want to count him out. Out of Trubisky, Pickett, and Rudolph, throughout the entire preseason, none of them threw any interceptions. None. We never threw a single interception the entire preseason, which that's pretty good. Gives me optimism. I think the Steelers offense has talent, the talent available to do great things this year. And if not, then the future is bright. We're gonna go at least 9-8 because, as you guys all know, Mike Tomlin teams are allergic to going below 500. So, but we'll probably be like a 9-8 team this year, probably, because the Steelers always win games they shouldn't. They lose games they shouldn't. Let me rephrase that. They win games that they should have lost, and they lose games they should have won. That's what happens all the time. But defensive side of the ball, reigning defensive player of the year is back after had a scary a knee injury in preseason, which scared me, because it's a knee. You think, oh, torn ACL, but it looks like he's going to be fine. Tomlin said if it wasn't a preseason game, Watt would have come back in the game. So he'll be fine. Cam Hayward, excited to see how he does this year. Minka Fitzpatrick, excited for that. My biggest concern and what I really want to see this season is our linebacker Devin Bush. This is his last chance. He was drafted 10th overall in the 2019 draft. His Steelers declined his 5th-year option, and I don't blame him. I mean, his rookie season in 2019, he looked really good. All right, he looked amazing in 2019. 2020, in like the 6th game or something like that against Cleveland, he tore his ACL, out for the remainder of the season. And he started 2020 out pretty good too. 2021, it's like he wasn't there. If you look at Devin Bush play and some stuff in games back in 2021, it looked like he was afraid to move. Like he's afraid that he's going to tear his ACL again. Look, I know, I don't know personally, I've never torn my ACL, but I know a torn ACL is very, very difficult to come back from. Takes a lot of physical therapy, a lot of healing. It takes a lot to come back. That's why it's a season-ending injury. But that was 2020. That was 2 years ago. All right? He tore his ACL 2 years ago. I'm sure it's fine now. I know torn ACLs don't take 2 years to heal. And if it did, he wouldn't have played last year. So it's time to step up, Devin Bush. Let's bring it back to your 2019 self when you popped off. He's just afraid to move. He's like, every time guy running back, receiver runs past him, he's like a tree out there. Just doesn't move. And there was some game this preseason he did that. So I don't know. I hope we step it up. I hope our new DC, Terrell Austin, makes him step up. Linebackers coach, Brian Flores, the guy that Miami got rid of for no reason. Now he's at Pittsburgh. And we have potential, all right? Are we going to win the AFC North? No. I mean, look who's in our division. The Bengals. Not you. The Bengals. Have Lamar start showing up to practice. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so Pittsburgh, my prediction, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs, but we're probably just going to barely miss. I like 9-8. Because that's what we always do. We never go below 500. I see predictions like 8-9 or 7-10 or something. I'm like, well, you forgot the one rule. Mike Tomlin teams don't go below 500. Will this be the first year it happens? I thought so at first, but after seeing us play in preseason, I don't know. The offense looks alive. Ben Roethlisberger, he'll go down, in my opinion, the best Steelers quarterback of all time. Terry Bradshaw had the rings, but Ben had the stats. He won 2 Super Bowls, and of course, in both the Super Bowls, he didn't play good. Or actually, he played 3 Super Bowls, didn't perform good in all 3 of them. He won 2 of them. So the offense, we finally have a quarterback that can move. We got Trubisky, we got Pickett. I know Pickett there's a concern with Kenny Pickett about the size of his hands. Will that be a concern? Apparently not. Preseason, he was throwing dimes. He was throwing perfect passes and coverage. It's just, he has potential to be the next great quarterback at Pittsburgh. But it's Trubisky's time. We'll see how he does. And Tomlin, I hope if Trubisky is performing poorly, I hope you'll make the right decision and bench him for Pickett. And if Pickett starts performing well, then there you go. Then bye-bye Trubisky. But we'll see. I'm excited. I hope the Steelers do good. I mean, of course, they're my favorite team. This season's schedule is not as hard as last year. Last year was tough. This year, the thing that sucks about the Steelers' schedule this year, all of our opponents that were really good last year were playing them on the road. The hardest team we're playing at home is like I guess you could say the Bengals because they're in our division, but out of division, it's the Titans. Offense has potential, but here's my number one biggest concern about the Pittsburgh Steelers for 2022, and that is the offensive line. I mean, if you saw them this preseason, especially the Detroit game, oh my God. The biggest one is Dan Moore at left tackle. And that's the most important one. All of the quarterbacks in our teams are righties, so that means the left tackle's job is to protect their blind side because they're going to be standing like this. and come up from behind him and hit him. Of course, it's the NFL. If you do that, you're going to get flagged. So, because God forbid you tackle people anymore, Roger Goodell. Anyway, so offensive line is going to be a concern. It was a concern last year, but it looks like it's going to be a bigger concern this year. But offensive line has always been a concern for the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has gone down as the most sacked quarterback in NFL history. So even though we've been sacked multiple times, we still managed to win. So we'll see. And now we got quarterbacks that can move. But we got to have – our O-line needs to step up. We can't have Trubisky or Pickett just snap the ball. Oh, I got to run away from the pocket because, God forbid, our O-line blocks. Got Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and then Chukwuma Okorafor. Okorafor and Daniels, or Cole, I should say, pretty good. They're the two best, which is center, right tackle. Daniels at right guard. He's improving. Dotson and Moore just, oh my gosh. Dotson is like holding central. Every time it's a first down or something, for every time in the Lions game, those two, Dotson and Moore, holding. Oh, we got a big run with Najee. Oh, holding. It's coming back. We can't have that. We can't just have all these great runs by Najee come back. So, that's my talk about the Steelers. I hope they do good this season, but only one way to find out. Let's go Steelers. So what I'll do for the Steelers, I'll make a video after every game talking about it. Now, just keep in mind that I might not see everything because it's two reasons. One, I have a job, and a lot of times I'm going to be working while the game is on. And two, since the Steelers aren't a local team, I live in Michigan, they're not on TV all the time. The only time I get to see them is if they're playing a local team, which is the Colts, Bears, and the Lions, if they're the game of the week for the evening, or if they're playing the night game. That's the only time I'm able to see them. So just keep that in mind, but I'm still going to make videos about every game, my thoughts and feelings. Hopefully the Bengals game is a positive one. Last time we played in Cincinnati, absolutely crushed 41-10. It was 41-3, and the Steelers scored a garbage time touchdown. But the Steelers should hopefully be competitive, please. Please, Pittsburgh, be competitive with good teams. So, I'll see you guys. My next Steelers video will be after the Bengals game, unless if something huge related to the Steelers happens within this week for the game. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Have a great day.